Hi, this is Mr. Chauke. I'm a professional teacher for accounting, business studies, EMS, as well as research. If you're watching this, you are definitely at the right place. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and also leave your comments on the comment section. Tell your friends about our YouTube channel, share these videos with them, and I promise you that your assistance in this matter will be really appreciated. And also keep in mind that we have lessons that are taking place. Firstly, we have contact lessons that are charged at a fee of 500, and you get your 2 lessons on a weekly basis. And we also have contact lessons starting from 500, but this is applicable to learners who are in Hammerskraal. So if you want to make use of those lessons, please get in touch with us so that we can talk about the arrangements. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I promise you that your academic dreams of your dreams of academic excellence will become a reality. So let's get in this lesson. Now, in our lesson, we're going to be doing bank reconciliation. Now, remember, guys, the first thing, like I always tell you, is that before you do anything in accounting, you need to remember what exactly are you dealing with. When we are talking about bank reconciliation, we are talking about a process whereby we are trying to reconcile the balance of our bank account with the balance that is shown in our bank statement. So in other words, we are trying to make sure that what our books are saying we have is the same as what the bank says we have, and if there's any difference between the two parties, then we have to do some reconciliation so that we can sort out those differences. If you want the foundation for that theory, please make sure that you watch the lesson before this one. Okay, and I promise you that you will definitely understand the theory very well. Now let's start with the concepts that we are given here. Here they're saying that this particular type of balance on the bank statement is an unfavorable balance. Now remember, an unfavorable balance on the bank statement is on the debit side, so which means that here we are supposed to say that a debit balance on the bank statement is an unfavorable balance. So the word that we are looking for here is what we call debit. And then the next one says that interest credited on the bank statement is recorded in there. In other words, they want us to tell them the name of the journal that we are going to record the interest that will be on the credit side of the bank statement. Remember, if our interest is credited, it means that we are earning interest income, so therefore this will go to the CRJ. And then the next one says service fees and ATM deposit fees are added and recorded as bank charges according to, so here they want the gap principle. So we know that that principle is what we call materiality. Okay, and then the next one says that they are saying that this particular thing is used to buy goods and services from a supplier, and the amount used is paid back to the bank at a later stage. Now remember, if I use a credit card, I will have to pay the bank at a later stage because I would have bought using their funds. So once I use their funds, not mine, they expect me at a later stage to pay them. So that is what we call a credit card here. It allows you to buy now using the funds of the bank and then pay the supplier, pay the bank at a later stage. Okay, so that's what we call a credit card. This is the concept that relates to it. Remember, sometimes you can be asked to differentiate between a debit card and a credit card. Remember, with a debit card, you are paying using your own funds that are in your bank account. But with a credit card, you are paying using the funds of the bank, and then you pay the bank at a later stage. Okay, next they're saying that an unfavorable balance to the bank is N or A. So in this case, when we have an unfavorable balance, remember, unfavorable balance means that we owe the bank, right? So if we owe, it means that then we'd have the bank as a liability. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to deal with this concept. So we have already entered the concepts that are given to us here. Next, they're saying use the following information taken from the accounting records of member traders. Number one, calculate the correct totals for the cash receipt journal and cash payment journal. Secondly, prepare the bank reconciliation statement as at 30 June 2022. Then we'll proceed to the information. Here we are given an extract of the BRS from last month. Now remember, the step says that when we get this BRS, we should be able to compare it against the current bank statement so that we can tell if the things that we are telling them about were considered or not. But in this case, this one is a little bit different. You'll see as we go, but the steps are always the same. Okay. Now next, number B says that the balance on the bank statement on 30 June 2022 was 11,892, and they are saying that it's favorable. Now remember, if the balance of the on the bank statement is favorable, it means that the balance is on the credit side, and this is something that you need to make sure that you are always aware of. So we are just going to enter that information as it was given to us. So we are going to have I'm just going to use an abbreviation here. So we'd have credit balance as per bank statement. Okay, and then that credit balance as per bank statement that we have is 11,892. So we'll write it here, and then this is how you will earn your first mark, and then from there we can proceed to the next transaction. Here they're saying that the cash journals had the following totals on 30 June 2022 before the bank reconciliation was completed. So meaning that these are the totals of the journals that we have before we got our bank statement. So when we continue with recording the information that is on the bank statement, we will need to take these totals into consideration. But if you look at our answer book, those totals, they have already been recorded for us, so there won't be a need for us to record those totals. Then next, we have a section whereby they are saying that the following items appeared on the bank statement for June 2022, but not in the cash journals. Once they tell you this statement, you must know that what you have to do is to check that this information that is on the bank statement, it will contain two sets of information: items from the last BRS as well as the items that are in the bank statement, which needs to be taken to the cash journals. Okay, so those are the things that you need to look at. Number one, we have EFT number 201 and 220. So we need to check last year's BRS. So if you check 201 is this one, so it's there. So I'm going to cancel it to show that it has been taken into consideration. And we also have EFT number 220, which also appears. So it means that once it appears on the bank statement, and also remember in the last month's BRS, we are telling them that this EFTs were appearing on the journals only, but they were not on the bank statement. So now the information appears both on the journals and as well as the bank statement. So it means that there won't be a need for us to record them again. So this one has already been dealt with. And then the next one, we have a deposit of 8,800. Now remember, if you look at the last month's BRS, this deposit of 8,800 was in the CRJ, but it was not on the bank statement. So I'll also tick this one to say it has been considered. So it means it appears both on the CRJ and in the bank statement. So there's no need for us to record it again. Okay, and then next, and also if you look at this, you are also given the balance of the balance as per bank account for May. So you need to use it as an opening balance for this month. But unfortunately, if you look at this, you were not given a space for that. So what I would do, I will open my small bank account here, because it will be safe for us to construct it. Remember, your bank account, the bank account increases on the debit side, so we have plus on the debit side and then minus on the credit side. Then we need to check where is that opening balance placed. If you look at this, the opening balance here, it's on the debit side. I mean the closing balance of the bank account is on the debit side. So which means that when we start, we'll start with the opening balance for June, which was taken from the last month of May. We are going to put it on the debit side because it is debit balance as per bank account. How do I know they've placed it on the debit side? Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So on the first, I'm not going to write the dates because you were not required to prepare this bank account. So I would have my balance brought down at the beginning of the year as 15,600, and this is one of the marks that you are going to get. So you need to make sure that you construct your bank account somewhere. And then next, when we proceed, they are saying that remember, we have already we have used this 4 items, so we are left with 5.9 and 5.5, and then this one we are not going to need it. Okay, so maybe I can cancel it to show you that you are not going to use it. Please don't make the mistake of using this as your balance as per bank statement for the current month. Okay, so let's proceed. Next, we have a deposit of 3,500 that was made by a tenant for her July rent. Now, remember, if someone does a direct deposit, it means that the person goes to the bank, they pay money into our bank account. We will see the deposit on the credit side of the bank statement. So this 3,500 is for rent. When we receive money, we record that in the CRJ. So the 3,500 should go to the CRJ. So I'm going to put that 3.5 here, and then next we can go to the next adjustment. Next, they're saying that we have bank charges of 260, and remember, if they're saying it's a bank charge, it means it is an expense, so it must be recorded on the CPJ. So that 260 will come this side. Okay, then we go to the next one. They are saying that a debit card payment of 250 to purchase a new windscreen wipers for the vehicle. Now you see how important it is for you to differentiate between debit card and credit card, because once you buy using a credit card, we won't include that in the CPJ because you are not physically taking out money for this month. Okay, but here they're talking about a debit card, which means the money is deducted immediately when I buy. So this 250 that's supposed to go to our CPJ, so the 250 will come this side, and then we are done with that transaction. Then the next one, we also have interest on credit balance. Once they say interest on a credit balance, you need to think about this. Try to remember that a credit balance on the bank statement means that you have money, because remember, your bank account and bank statement, they don't increase on the same side. Bank account increases on the debit side, and your bank statement will increase on the opposite, which is the credit side. So it means that this is an interest income. So this interest income of 52 rand will go to our CRJ. So we'll write that 52 rand here. And then next, we'll go to our information. The next item says that the following items appeared in the cash journals for June, which means they are in our present cash journals, and therefore if they are in our present cash journals and then they are not reflected on the bank statement, it means that these are our outstanding items. So if they are outstanding items, we know that they are supposed to be reflected on the bank reconciliation statement. So we have EFT number 250 for stationary board and EFT number 251 for petrol for the owner's private vehicle worth 2,300 and 1,700 respectively. So we're going to enter these outstanding EFTs in our remember, in our BRS. So we're going to have go to our that part. So remember, here we'll have credit outstanding deposit, and then we'd have debit outstanding EFT. So we have EFT number 250 and then EFT number 251. Let me just confirm those numbers so we are correct. So it's 2,301.7. So I'll write that 2,300 here, and then also write the 1.7. Then by doing this already, you have earned marks here. And then let's go to the next item here. Next, they are saying that an outstanding deposit. Remember, if it's an outstanding deposit, it means I have it in my present CRJ, but I don't have it in my bank statement, so I must inform the bank. So I'm telling them that they need to credit my bank account with 750. So that's why I'm going to put it on the credit side. So that 750 will come on the credit side of the BRS. Then we go to the next set of information. Next, they are saying that the following errors were noted when preparing the reconciliation statement for July. Number one, EFT number 178 was, remember, the keyword is incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal for May 2022. So number one, what we must check, it means that the error was done, because they said incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal. It means that the error was done in our books. So when we do the correction, we are going to do the correction in the books of the business. Okay, now next, they are saying that the correct amount of 2,300 appears on the statement for June 2022. Remember, this is the correct. So it means when I look at this, my bank statement shows 2.3, and then my CPJ, because we are talking about EFT, my CPJ, I need to check 178. What does it show? So 178 shows 5.9. Okay, so it shows 5.9. Now if you look at this, they are saying that my bank statement is correct here. They're saying that the correct amount of 2,100 appears on the bank statement for June, so which means this one is wrong. So when I do the correction, as long as the mistakes were done by the business, I'm going to correct in the books of the business. So here we need to check, did we undercast or overcast? So if you look, we are supposed to record 2,300, we recorded 5.9, so it means we made our payments to be more. So we need to reduce, and when we reduce in the opposite journal. So if we say 5.9 minus 2.3, it will give us 3.6. Now this 3.6, it's supposed to go in the CRJ, because we correct the overcast in the opposite journal. So 3.6 will go to our CRJ, so we'd have our 3,600 here in the CRJ. Then this will be 2 marks, because remember, it's a more like a high order question. Okay, then next we go to the next question. Here they're saying EFT number 225. So remember, now if you look at this, we need to go back there and cancel that out to show that it has been, we have used it, we have corrected whatever that we needed to correct, and it now appears on the bank statement. So next, they're saying that EFT number 225 was incorrectly keyword, it was incorrectly. Remember, this is EFT number 225, and we remember that we saw it in our previous month's BRS. Now they are saying that it was incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal for May 2022. Now remember, if it was incorrectly recorded in the cash payment journal, it means that the error was done in the books of the business. So when we do the correction, we are supposed to correct the books of the business, not the bank reconciliation statement. Next, they are saying that the correct amount of 10,450 appears on the bank statement for June 2022. So we need to check CPJ and also the bank statement. They are saying that our CPJ shows, according to this, our CPJ shows that our amount is it shows that the amount is 5,500. So that 5,500 would have to go to our, it will have to be we need to show that it's recorded in our CPJ. And then remember, the 10,450 is recorded in the bank statement. So between the two, we need to check which one is correct, which one is wrong. So remember, when you look at the situation, 5,500 is what we recorded in our books, and then 10,450 is what is recorded in the bank statement. So which one is right, which one is wrong? This one would be wrong, and then the one on the bank statement will be right. So which means that we can see that there is an undercast that took place, so meaning that we under recorded in our cash payment journal. So what must we do? We must look for the difference between the two items and take that difference to our CPJ. Okay, so we'll take 5.5 minus 10,450, and then the difference that we get is 4,950. So that 4,950 will go to our cash payment journal. But remember guys, the way they present journals won't always be the same. If you look at this, they just want us to show the amount, but other examiners might want you to put the contract. They will have your column for bank and then the sundry account, whereby you are going to put amount and then write what is the money for. So but in the case of this one, they did not do it like this, so please be careful and be familiar with how examiners want you to complete the journals. Okay, then now what we have to do is to make sure that we get the totals of our subsidiary journals. So we're going to start with our CRJ. So with our CRJ, we're going to say 20,420 plus 3.5 and then plus 52 rand and then also plus 3.6, and then the answer that we get is 27,572. Okay, let me confirm. So we're going to say 20,420 plus 3.5 and then plus 52 plus 3.6, then it gives us 27,572. So we are good to go. So let's add the total of our cash payment journal. So our cash payment journal will be 29,070 plus 260 and then plus 250 plus 4950, and then the total that we get is 34,530. So let's confirm our total so that we can be able to get the correct marks. So 29,070 plus 260 plus 250 plus 4,950 gives us 34,530. So we got the totals of both journals. Even if you make a mistake, guys, you need to make sure that you add your amounts and get a total. These are really free principal marks for just adding. Then once you are done, what you do, you take these totals. Remember, CRJ increases your bank account, so it means here we'd have total receipts you post to your bank account, and then our total receipts, we know we see them in the CRJ. So this total will come here, 27,572, and this side would have total payments. Okay, and then this is in the CPJ. Under follow, we will write CPJ, and then the amount that we have is 34,530. Then we do the totals so that we can close off this account. So if you look at this, you'll realize that the debit side is the biggest. If you say 15,600 plus 27,572, it will give you a total of 43,172. So we'd have 43,172 both sides. But what is known to us is that these two sides are not the same. You can see this is more than this. This is 34, this is 43. So obviously we'd have a balance carried down, okay, which will become a balance brought down for the 1st of July, because we are in the month of June. So if you say 43,172, then you subtract 34,530, is going to give you 8,642. So we have our 8,642 and also 8,642 here. Then once you are done, you look at this, you will see that your balance as per bank account is on the debit side. So which means when you go to your answer book, you are going to say here, you are going to say that balance as per bank account, and then remember it's on the debit side, so you'd have 8,642. okay, then once you are done with this, you would realize that we have the totals of everything. So what we need to do is to make sure that we add both two sides. Principle wise, these two sides are supposed to be the same. Your debit and the credit side, they are supposed to be the same. So we're going to say 2.3 plus 1.7 and then also plus 8,642, which gives us 12,642. So we'd have 12,642 642 this side, and we'll also do the same with the credit side. So we'll say 11,892 plus 750, then it also gives us 12,650. Let me see, not 50, 42. So let me just put it correctly here. Okay, then the two sides are balancing. You'll get your full normally, remember, this is out of 8 marks, so this will probably be awarded 1 mark, 1 mark. You'll get your 1 mark for the totals here if they're the same. 1 mark, 1 mark here, and then 3 marks allocated to this, maybe probably because you were not doing the bank account separately. Okay, and then when we look at the journals, you would have 1 mark here, 1 mark here. Remember this, you had to calculate, so it's 2 marks here and then 1 mark here. And then for the CRJ, 1 mark, that 3.5, I forgot how we got it, the 3.5. Let me check. Oh yeah, it's 1 mark because you didn't have to work it out, and then the 52, it's 1 mark. And then also here, this 3.6, it will be 2 marks because you had to work it out, and then 1 mark here. So all in all, this will give you around let me see if we have any other question on this. And also the concepts, remember with the concepts we wrote them on the answer book. So, and you should be able to do this in less than around 26 minutes, because remember we didn't do creators reconciliation. But guys, this is how easily bank reconciliation will be for you if you practice. So if you want me to become your personal tutor, you're more than welcome to contact us by using the details that will be available in the description of this video. Remember guys, our online lessons start from 500 as well as our contact lessons. But please keep it in mind that our contact lessons are for people who are in Hammaskral. We start from just 500, and I promise you that will give you value for your money. Thank you so much for watching. May God richly bless you. Shalom.